Life doesn't ask for permission before it knocks you down. It doesn't care how tired you are, how much you've lost, or how deep the pain runs. But here's the truth. You're not done. You've got one choice. Get up and fight. Step 1. Adversity tests you. Adversity doesn't send a warning. It doesn't knock politely before it enters your life. It comes crashing through your doors when you least expect it, in the form of loss, failure, betrayal, or pure exhaustion. It strips away comfort, tears down your confidence, and exposes who you truly are beneath the surface. When everything's going your way, it's easy to talk about strength, discipline, and courage. But when the storm hits and there's no one watching, that's when your character is put to the test. Adversity is the great revealer. It doesn't build weakness, it exposes it. It doesn't destroy the strong, it forges them. When life knocks you down, the question isn't why me? It's who am I now that I've been hit? You see, adversity has a way of stripping away illusions. It takes from you what's fake, what's temporary, what's built on comfort and ego. It leaves you standing face to face with the truth. Your discipline, your resilience, your hunger to keep moving forward. You start to see what you've been hiding behind. The excuses, the fear, the false sense of control. Adversity rips it all away until you're left with nothing but the real you, the version that either fights or folds. Most people break because they think adversity is punishment. It's not. It's a test. It's the universe's way of asking, do you really mean what you say? You said you wanted to be great. You said you wanted to lead. You said you were willing to work, to sacrifice, to grind when no one believed in you. And now, here it is, the moment that proves whether those words were real or just noise. Adversity doesn't care about your plans, your timeline, or your comfort zone. It only cares about your will to endure. When you're exhausted, when your mind is screaming for rest, when quitting feels like relief, that's when the test begins. In those moments, you don't rise to the level of your expectations. You fall to the level of your discipline. And that's what adversity measures. Not your potential, but your preparation. Not your dreams, but your drive. It pushes you into the corner and demands to know if you have the courage to push back. Because only through struggle do you discover strength. Only through chaos do you learn control. And only through pain do you realize that adversity was never your enemy. It was your teacher all along. Step 2, pain is feedback, not failure. Pain has a language of its own. It speaks in silence, in the tension of your muscles, in the heaviness of your chest when things don't go the way you planned. Most people run from it. They label it as failure, as something to avoid, as a sign that they're not good enough. But pain is not the enemy. It's information. It's the body's and mind's way of showing you the edges of your limits. It tells you where you need to grow, where you're weak, and where you're still hiding from the truth. Every rep that burns, every rejection that stings, every loss that breaks your rhythm, it's all data. Pain is feedback. It's the most honest form of communication between you and your potential. When you fail at something, the instinct is to turn away. You start to question yourself. You start to believe that maybe this isn't for you, that maybe the discomfort is proof you're on the wrong path. But that's the lie pain tells the untrained mind. The truth is, pain only shows up where there's growth. You don't feel pain when you're doing what's easy. You feel it when you're stretching, when you're reaching into unknown territory, when you're forcing yourself to evolve. Pain is the compass that points you toward progress. Every time you encounter it, you're standing at the threshold of transformation. You have to learn to study your pain. When your body aches, it's not punishing you. It's showing you what needs to adapt. When your mind hurts from failure, it's not weakness. It's awareness sharpening your edge. Pain tells you where the work needs to be done. It highlights your blind spots, your insecurities, your lack of preparation. It's not failure. It's feedback on how to improve. The question isn't whether you can avoid pain. You can't. The question is whether you can interpret it, whether you can extract the lesson hidden inside it. The greatest performers, the strongest leaders, the most resilient warriors, they all understand this truth. They don't chase comfort, they chase correction. They use pain as a mirror, not a verdict. Because pain is not there to end you, it's there to educate you. It's the body's brutal but honest reminder that you are alive, that you are trying, that you are in the fight, and that growth is never painless. Step 3, discipline over emotion. There are days when you wake up and feel unstoppable, focused, driven, ready to conquer everything in front of you. And then there are days when you wake up with nothing, no energy, no motivation, no spark. Those are the days that define you. Because discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline doesn't negotiate. It doesn't need inspiration or permission. It's a commitment that stands when emotion collapses. When your mind says, not today, discipline says, go anyway. It's the bridge between intention and execution, between what you say you want and what you actually do. Emotion may get you started, but only discipline keeps you moving when every reason to stop feels justified. Emotion is temporary. It shifts with the weather, the noise around you, the mood you wake up in. It's fragile. It can be broken by disappointment, fatigue, or a single setback. But discipline is built through repetition, through showing up again and again, through doing what's required, even when it hurts. It's not glamorous. It's not loud. It's quiet, consistent, and relentless. Discipline is what gets you out of bed when your motivation is gone. It's what keeps you training when no one's watching. It's what holds your standards steady when the world tells you to lower them. Emotion reacts. Discipline decides. Emotion wants comfort. Discipline demands progress. When you operate on emotion, you live like a leaf in the wind, blown by whatever feeling hits you that day. You let fear, anger, and doubt dictate your pace. But when you operate on discipline, you build control. You become anchored. You don't chase feelings. You follow principles. You understand that action doesn't have to feel good to be right. Discipline isn't about punishment. It's about power. The power to command yourself when your emotions rebel. The power to follow through when your mind screams to stop. The truth is, emotion makes you human, but discipline makes you unstoppable. Every goal you've ever dreamed of achieving will demand moments where your emotions want to quit. And in those moments, discipline is the only thing that keeps you alive in the mission. It's the structure you fall back on when the fire burns out, the routine that carries you when the motivation fades, the standard that protects you from your weaker self. Step 4. Stand up every time. Life will knock you down. Not once, not twice, but over and over again. Sometimes it'll hit you harder than you thought you could handle. It'll take your breath, crush your plans, and make you question everything you thought you knew about yourself. But here's the truth most people never face. Falling is not the end. It's part of the process. Everyone gets hit. Everyone breaks. The difference between those who stay down and those who rise again isn't strength, luck, or talent. It's the decision to stand back up every single time. Every time you rise after a fall, you reclaim a piece of yourself. You rebuild your confidence, your belief, and your power. Each time you get up, you remind the world and yourself that you are not finished yet. Standing up doesn't mean the pain disappears. It doesn't mean you forget the failure or ignore the weight of what happened. It means you choose to move forward in spite of it. It means you take the lesson, wear the scar, and continue walking. Resilience isn't built in comfort. It's built in recovery. Every time you get back up, you strengthen the muscle of endurance. You prove that your willpower is greater than your wounds. People think strength is about never falling, but real strength is the ability to rise with bruises, with doubt, with fear still in your chest, and say, not yet, I'm still here. There will be moments when the fall feels final, when you've tried everything and nothing seems to work, when the world turns silent and your inner voice whispers that it's easier to stay down. That's when you're standing at the edge of who you were and who you can become. The choice you make in that silence determines everything. You either surrender to the pain or you get up and keep fighting. You don't rise because it's easy. You rise because you refuse to stay broken. You rise because you know the fight isn't over until you say it is. Every time you stand up, you defy the odds. You defy your past, and you defy the version of yourself that wanted to quit. Step 5. Purpose fuels the fight. Every battle worth fighting begins with a reason, a clear, unshakable purpose that drives you forward when everything else wants to pull you back. Purpose is not a vague idea or a fleeting desire. It is the fire in your chest that refuses to die when the world pushes against you, when the pain is unbearable, when the setbacks keep coming, when the exhaustion threatens to swallow you whole. It is purpose that keeps your feet moving. Without it, Effort becomes directionless, discipline becomes hollow, and even the strongest bodies will eventually crumble. But with purpose, every step you take, every sacrifice you make, every ounce of energy you pour into the fight becomes meaningful. Purpose gives context to the struggle and transforms suffering into fuel. Purpose doesn't make the fight easier. It doesn't remove the blows or the obstacles in your path. What it does is give you a reason to endure when endurance seems impossible. It gives you clarity when chaos surrounds you and focus when distraction beckons. It gives you the courage to stand alone if necessary, to push beyond the limits everyone else has accepted, and to do what others won't. Purpose creates a standard that cannot be ignored. It demands action, persistence, and resilience. When you are driven by something bigger than yourself, a goal, a mission, a responsibility, you stop asking if you're strong enough, and you start proving that you are willing to become strong enough. Those without purpose fight for convenience. They fight to avoid consequences, to impress others, or simply because it feels necessary in the moment. They burn out quickly, crumble under pressure, and surrender at the first sign of resistance. But those with purpose fight differently. Every setback becomes a lesson, every pain a reminder, every failure a signal to adjust strategy and keep moving. Purpose aligns every decision, every habit, and every action with a greater vision. It transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary progress. It makes the impossible attainable because the will behind it is relentless. Purpose fuels consistency. It fuels grit. It fuels the fire that refuses to be extinguished by fatigue, fear, or doubt. When the world doubts you, purpose reminds you why you started. When your own mind questions your strength, purpose whispers that there is more to achieve, more to overcome, more to prove. It is the compass that guides you through chaos, the engine that drives you when your body screams to stop, and the anchor that keeps you steady when everything else shakes. Purpose is not optional in the fight. It is the fight itself. Step 6. Victory is earned in the dark. Most people only see the surface of success, the trophies, the applause, the recognition. They admire the result without ever understanding the relentless effort that built it. They don't see the early mornings before anyone else wakes, the nights spent grinding when the world sleeps, the silent sacrifices made in obscurity. Victory is not handed out in the spotlight. It is earned in the dark, where no one is watching and every excuse has been stripped away. It is forged in the moments when you're tired, when motivation has vanished, and when the easy choice is to quit. The true measure of greatness is not how you perform when conditions are perfect, but how you act when you are alone, exhausted, and uncertain. In the dark, your character is exposed. There are no cheers, no validation, no short-term rewards to make you feel justified. There is only the work itself and the discipline to continue doing it day after day. This is where champions are made, in the repetition of hard choices, in the persistence through monotony, in the unwavering commitment to keep going when everything inside you screams to stop. Every push, every sacrifice, every extra hour, every moment of doubt confronted and overcome adds to the invisible bank of resilience that eventually pays dividends in victory. The world only sees the end product, but the battles fought in the dark are what create the strength, skill, and mental toughness necessary to achieve it. Victory in the dark is not glamorous, and it rarely comes with recognition. It is lonely, uncomfortable, and often thankless. Yet those who understand this truth embrace it willingly because they know that the struggle is the crucible in which success is refined. They learn to love the process more than the applause. They learn to trust themselves when no one else does. They understand that the discipline, preparation, and sacrifice performed away from the spotlight determine whether they will rise or fall when it matters most. Every repetition, every sleepless night, every moment of effort that goes unseen is an investment in the inevitable payoff. Those who seek recognition without effort in the dark will never taste the fullness of victory. True achievement belongs to those who endure without witnesses, who persist without validation, who keep moving when there is no reason to continue except the inner fire that refuses to be extinguished. Victory is not given. It is earned quietly, relentlessly, and invisibly in the hours when the world sleeps, the doubts are loudest, and the fight seems endless. You've heard the truth. Life will hit you, push you, and try to break you. Pain, fear, doubt, exhaustion, they will all come. But here's what separates those who live a life of regret from those who rise and conquer. You get up. Every single time. You don't wait for motivation, you don't wait for comfort, and you don't wait for permission. You stand, you fight, and you move forward with purpose, discipline, and relentless intensity. So when the darkness comes, remember this. Victory is earned in the moments no one sees. The fight is yours and yours alone. Embrace it, lean into it, let it forge you into someone stronger than you ever thought possible. Now is the time to act. Now is the time to rise. Stand up, face the pain, own the struggle, and never ever stop fighting. Get up and fight.